Yes, so there's a bunch of tools that we use. I've kind of mentioned organisational rewilding, and that's often a place we'll start just to to provide a consistent structure of how we'll approach and understand the challenges within the business. But there are quite a number of other tools. So another one is OKR, so objectives and key results. Objectives and key results are kind of like a balanced scorecard, sometimes kind of like KPIs, but they are around ensuring that the strategy that you actually, the objectives you have to achieve that strategy are tracked throughout a whole organisation. So ultimately, you'll design an objective or a bunch of objectives, and you'll then have targeted key results attached to each objective. Now, if you think about it, we might have them at the leadership team level or at the CEO level, but you then want to cascade them down through the organisation. So you might have an overall objective that's for marketing, and some key results you want to achieve in the next quarter or the next year, and then you might have your advertising and your sales and your support that might be sub ones one under that. You actually want to be able to visually track those, and also to, if there are key results that may come from an external software like HubSpot, for example, you could actually use a software like GTM Hub, of which I'm a partner with, to actually then be able to track those objectives and key results. And then, so you can then pull that all together and actually provide visibility within the whole organisation of how those objectives and key results necessarily are, that they're all in place to start, and secondly, how we're tracking against them. And you can look at it, per month, per quarter, annually, and you can even move forward depending on how you want to design them and structure them for the organisation. So that's another tool. As well as that, the organisation, we are SAFe practicing consultants. So what that means is that SAFe is scaled agile. So it's taking a business agility approach to organisations, so agile came out of the software industry, and is very much a lean element. So lean came out of the Toyota production system, so out of Japan, and it's about trying to eliminate waste through that process. So agile has come from lean and software, and it's about creating quick feedback loops, particularly with end customers. But it's the same concept even internally of how do we actually look at our work, how do we get the feedback loops quickly, and how do we collaborate across an organisation and not necessarily end up in silos, which ultimately what happens with a lot of medium to largest businesses is they create these silos of departments that then don't talk very well to each other. So agile then allows us to actually bring that together and to collaborate a lot more effectively and focus on the end customer. So the objectives and key results and agile and bringing them together, well, they work really well together. They can be implemented separately. And small, medium businesses probably are not going to need an agile approach because they're probably small enough to be already agile, and they're probably using a lot of those tenets of agile anyway. So they're two key tools. There's also the coaching element and the leadership development. And I kind of touched on that a little bit already. That's not only bringing a coaching philosophy into the way that we work with businesses, but it's also possibly working with individuals or with teams. So teams often also need coaching. So, how does a leadership team or a management team, sometimes they actually don't know how they can best work together to work for the business. Because often they don't even know, well, who are the stakeholders that we're in service to? Because ultimately that's what the team is. It's there to serve stakeholders, whether it's the board or whether it's end customers or whether it's the staff themselves that they're actually working for. Who are they in service to, and what are their objectives, and how they're tracking. Plus, how's the team made up? Even the way the leaders, everyone has a natural leadership bias. So does the leadership styles of that team reflect the needs of the stakeholders they're serving? So there's all those elements. So coaching individually, executive or leadership development, team-based coaching, OKR, design and implementation, and agile as well. So they're probably a few of the other key tools that orchard coaching would use.